Hello, I'm Saran, and this is Video Ground. This is a video series about spaces between buildings. Today, I will introduce you a couple of lanes designed as part of commercial developments. When a large-scale development occurs, the newly built complex is often required to provide new pedestrian connections. The City of Melbourne has put together a document called Central Melbourne Design Guide in 2018, which outlines how private land in the urban area should cater to the public. Even before the guide was established, I believe it's been a common practice in Melbourne to include so-called lanes as part of the development. Although there are more famous laneway-like spaces in other shopping centres in Melbourne CBD, for this episode, I wanted to cast light onto the lanes that are more for office workers. The first one we visit today is Southern Cross Lane, located between Little Collins Street and Burke Street. There are two large office buildings on the east and west side. I visited on Sunday, so there aren't office workers around here now. The first thing that we see here is the extensive use of glass. There is a glazed roof here, probably about 12 to 15 meters high. Having the roof changes the ratio between the human scale and the building heights. The roof helps us not to mind about the actual heights of the office buildings and focus on the space under the roof. If there were no roof, we would feel like we are going to be squashed by these adjacent buildings. Apart from their structural functions, I think these steel columns are also helping the space to resemble a lane better. Imagine this space without these columns. The width of the path would be around 6 meters, which would be too broad to feel comfortable if there's nothing else here. These columns might be functioning as visual anchors, suggesting the subdivision of the space and giving a sense of distance. The second lane is called Goldsborough Lane. It is between Burke Street and Little Burke Street. Compared to Southern Cross Lane, this one is almost like having narrower walkways as well as the main entry points, connected to a central courtyard. I'm sure it will make more sense once you see it soon. Above the walkways is an office building, which imposes the impression of a mass. There is a sense of spatial compression with a limited amount of light here, which is then contrasted against the sense of openness and the soft natural light. The lane has a transparent roof structure, which I believe is made of ETFE, a fluorine-based plastic membrane. It seems to have more complexity to the organization of the space here. There is a better connection between different levels, and the building forms are more irregular than Southern Cross Lane. I suspect that both lanes have different levels of busyness on weekdays compared to weekends. When there are restaurants and takeaway shops open, they would have outdoor seatings occupying a large section of the lanes. It would be a completely different atmosphere altogether. This kind of lanes has a particular demographic of users. As we reflect on the current pandemic, we may need to question what would happen if working from home becomes the norm in the future. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave comments below and check out my blog and Instagram. Thank you.